guys, I am Glenn Latier and this is Mr. Crafty Man. As I've mentioned the past couple weeks, generally this channel is an arts and crafts channel. I use it for showcasing and giving tutorials of my different craft projects, but the past couple weeks I have been talking to you about kidney disease and diabetes and high blood pressure. So before I get into this, what I want to mention is we do have a Facebook group that we started a couple weeks ago, and if you go to Facebook and you search Mr. Crafty Man, you will see the group pop up. You don't have to be approved for it, just join it. A couple of the members had started asking if we could have a Facebook group where different people with kidney disease could share their stories and different things that they're doing, so we created it. So you're more than welcome to join it. Something that I want to show you before we get into this video too far is I want to show you my latest blood lab work. And I'm going to come closer to the camera and we're going to wait for it to focus and everything so you can see this. So these labs were done probably about a week ago. And up here you can see the BUN is 13. Originally when I first got kidney disease that was 81, so it was way high. And my creatinine is 1.21. That is within the normal range. The normal range is 0.57 to 1.25. I would prefer to have it a little bit lower, but if it's in the normal range, I'm good with that. And the really good news is my GFR has went up to 72. I don't know if you remember, but when I originally got kidney disease, I was stage 4. My GFR was 25. And in 90 days, I got it up to 67, and so this here is since then, this was a week and a half ago, it's up to 72. They say anything above 60 is normal. I never ever thought that I would be able to get my GFR up to 70. I remember sitting there thinking, well, if I can get it up to 50, I'll be happy. Well, if I can get it up to 60, I'll be happy. Well, now it's 72. So something I want to mention is that your GFR, you can, like doing a program, working on everything, it can rise for as much as a year and a half. So I've only been doing this since like May. So I've already got it from 25 to 72 in that short period of time. So right now, since it's at 72, I'm going to say I would be really, really happy if I could get it to 80. I'm happy that I've gotten it to 72, and so now they technically say I don't have kidney disease. When I went in to see the two nephrologists, and I mentioned this in another video, and my GFR was 67. The first nephrologist walked in looking at my labs and she said, "You don't have kidney disease." And the second one walked in and she said, "You don't have diabetes," because I got my A1C all the way from 14 down to 5.2. But anyway, that was just a little bit of information I wanted to share with you. A little bit of good news. So what this video here today is going to be about is it's going to be about maintaining your weight once you get to your target weight. So if you're overweight, like I was 210 pounds. I decided I wanted my target weight to be 155 to 160 pounds. So what you do is you go on Google and search, and this is using myself as an example, you search how many calories does a 160-pound man need to eat per day to maintain weight. And if, like me, I was 210, it told me 2,300 calories. So I ate 2,300 calories per day. So I was actually creating a calorie deficit, since as a 210-pound man, I would need to eat more calories to maintain that weight. So go ahead and do those calculations. If you're underweight, which is very, very uncommon for people with diabetes and kidney disease. I realize not all of you have diabetes. If you do, it makes handling kidney disease a little bit more difficult for you because of the restrictions on foods. If you don't have diabetes, there's so many things that you can eat that have lots of carbs in them and that. But with diabetes, we just can't do that. So I saw some people commenting in the Facebook group and commenting online on the videos that they got the Stopping Kidney Disease food guide, but they're having problems finding their calories. And if people are having problems finding their calories, they're probably most definitely diabetic also. And this was a problem that I had also. And I hunted and hunted and hunted for a solution to that problem. I needed to find those calories. Otherwise, once I reached my target weight, I was going to keep on losing weight. And I did not want to keep on losing weight. And that's kind of what this video is about, is maintaining your weight once you get there. But the shake we're going to talk about in the video can be used for getting your calories while you're losing weight, and then getting your calories once you reach your target weight, because if you're diabetic, you're still going to have a problem getting those calories either way. So this shake is a shake that my wife came up with, and she calls it a calorie shake. And the reason why is because this shake has 1,100 calories in it. And even if you're drinking a shake that's 1,100 calories, some of you might find that you're still having a problem coming up with calories. So I drink 2 of these a day sometimes. So I'm going to tell you the ingredients to this shake. So in this shake, and I'll tell you slowly so you can write it down, there is a 1/2 cup of coconut milk, or you can use coconut cream, and the brand of the coconut cream and the coconut milk is Thai Kitchen. We get it at Walmart, and I think it's over on the Asian food aisle, normally down close to the floor. There is a difference in calories between the coconut milk and the coconut cream. I believe the coconut cream has more calories. Then we use a 1/2 cup of Silk brand unsweetened almond milk. And then we use a 1/4 cup of macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts can be expensive and sometimes a little bit difficult to find. So we buy our macadamia nuts on Amazon, and we buy them in bulk, so we always have them. And what my wife will do is she'll put all the ingredients to the shake inside the mixer. And then she'll put this 1/4 cup of nuts in, and she'll mix and mix and mix and mix to grind it up so there's no chunks. Something else that she adds to the shake for flavor, you don't have to, but you can if you want, is there's this Hershey's Zero Sugar chocolate syrup. And sometimes she'll put like a tablespoon of that inside and mix it up just for the flavor. And if you're looking for even more calories, this is kind of nasty, but I mean, for our health and to live longer, sometimes we have to do what we got to do. You can add a couple tablespoons of olive oil into your shake. Olive oil has 120 calories in a tablespoon, so it's a great source of calories. And I have put it on in my shakes. I put it on my salad. I have fried tofu in it. Remember what we talked about last week about how tofu is acidic. So in the back of the Stopping Kidney Disease food guide, there's an acidity alkaline guide. So you have to look up the alkaline value for tofu, and then you have to counter it, or the acidic value of tofu, and you have to counter it with an equal or greater amount of alkaline. So what I do is I use paprika and parsley, and paprika and parsley have a much greater alkaline value. so it kind of cancels out the acidity of the tofu. So, so yeah, the olive oil is a great source of calories. It doesn't taste especially good. So if you're putting it in your shakes for extra calories, you may have to put a little bit of extra chocolate syrup in. I know that we would like everything we eat to taste good, and in the beginning it really doesn't taste that good. But what we have to remember is, I mean, it's not about luxury. At least to me it wasn't. If it was about luxury and quality of life to me, I would have still been eating steaks and mashed potatoes and biscuits and gravy and all of the things that I like. But it was about staying alive. And something that I believe I've mentioned before, if not I'll mention it again, is each one of you has to come up with what your motivation is. What is your motivation for wanting to get better? I was having visions of my family standing around my deathbed, and also my little 15-month-old grandson. I would sit there and look at him every day. Fortunately, he comes to work with me, so I get to spend my days with him. And I was looking at him and looking at my wife playing with him and feeding him, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm not going to be able to watch that boy grow up. I'm going to miss out on all of this. So that was my motivation. I wanted to see him grow up, and I didn't want to die. I want to spend more time with my family. So I just started busting butt. And I can tell you that the program, if you go back and you look at my video, How I Beat Kidney Disease, you'll see everything I did. So don't ask questions on this video. How are you going to do it? When are you going to post a video of it? Because I did already. I'm not going to say that it was super easy, but I'm definitely not going to tell you it was difficult either, because it wasn't. It depends on your motivation. If you can get off your butt and do a light amount of exercise, like I said, all I do is I go to the gym in the morning, and for a total of 20 minutes I get on the elliptical trainer. I'll get on the elliptical trainer and I'll go for 15 minutes with my heart rate between 155 and 160, and then for 5 minutes I'll slow it down on level 1 to just a slow walk while I drink my first 16 ounces of water during the day. And it's not that difficult. I mean, all I did as my cardio got more and more in shape, I would up the level 1 on the elliptical trainer, because I think when I first went in there I was on level 2, and that was enough. I was getting out of breath, but as I got in better and better shape, I had to put the level up. So something to mention, here's a little saying. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. The reason why this is important to us is because we need to, in our minds, we need to realize that this is not just something we're doing until we can get ourselves better. This is a new way of life. So our motivation, whatever your motivation is that you come up with, that's what's going to get you started on this, and habit is what's going to keep you going. It becomes a new way of life, not just something we're doing until we get better. So again, let me give you the recipe for these shakes, because we had several people asking. And it really doesn't matter if you're using the coconut milk or the coconut cream. Like I said, the coconut cream has more calories. So we're going to put a half a cup of coconut milk or coconut cream into our mixer, and this is canned. We're going to put a half a cup of Silk brand almond milk, unsweetened. That's important, unsweetened. And then we're going to put a quarter cup of macadamia nuts, and then if you want to add olive oil for calories, go ahead and do it. And for flavoring, to cover up the the bitter taste of the olive oil, we have that 0 sugar Hershey's chocolate syrup. And we're putting our 1/4 cup of macadamia nuts in it, grinding it up. Me personally, I have one of these shakes for breakfast, and then I'll have another one at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's halfway between my lunch and my dinner. So something I'm going to mention to you, once you get to your target weight and you have reached your 90 days, and we're going to do our labs again, and we're going to look and see how things have improved. If things have improved greatly, if your GFR has really gone up, what we're going to do is we're going to increase our protein a little bit. So my calculation was I was eating 45 grams of protein a day. So half of that was Albutrix or Ketorina, the other half of it was food. So the reason why we do that is because food is more difficult for the kidneys to process, so we're only eating half the food, and the other protein that we require, we're eating it in medical food or Albutrix or Ketorina. Remember, I had said the only reason that I chose the Albutrix over the Ketorina is a little bit cheaper, is because I couldn't get a hold of the Ketorina people by telephone and I had questions. The Albutrix people I could get a hold of by telephone, and I talked to them on the phone a couple times, but then I've had questions since and haven't been able to get a hold of Lee Hull at all. I've even emailed him and he says, well, let me get this information from you before we have our phone call. And it has been, let's see, it's been like probably 9 weeks and I haven't heard from him, but that's okay. The product works, Ketorina works, Albutrix works. I don't get paid by either company. I don't endorse either one of them. So then what I did, once my blood lab levels went to a normal range and my GFR went up, is I increased my protein to what a normal diet should be. So I was on a very low protein diet before, eating 45 grams of protein a day. I took it up to 60 grams of protein. And I was kind of the guinea pig doing this. I didn't know if increasing my protein was going to lower my GFR because of more work on the kidneys or not. But from the blood work here, you can see that it went up to 72. And this here was, let me see here. So this was about 60 days after my 90-day labs. So in 60 days, I got it from 67 to 72. So that's another 5. That makes me think that I'm not going to be able to go a whole lot higher. I'll keep trying just to see what happens. I had thought that maybe it would go lower. If it went lower, then I would probably lower my protein back to doing what I knew worked for me, which was the 45 grams of protein a day. And maybe if I had continued to eat the 45 grams of protein a day, my GFR might have went higher than 72. I don't know. But it has gone higher, and that's good enough for me right now. I'll just keep on working and see if it'll go any higher. About the time that it stops going higher, I'll know that it has plateaued, and then I'll also take a look at what my diet was at that time. So what we covered in this video was how to get the calories that you're missing after you've eaten your food from the food guide, and how to maintain your target weight once you get to the target weight. We talked about how if you were overweight, which most of you probably are, you eat the calories until you reach the target weight, then you continue eating the calories. But if your GFR has went up, maybe up your protein a little bit. But if you're underweight, which there might be a couple of you that are, you would still pick a target weight and you would start eating calories for it. So basically you'd be bulking yourself up. So maybe if the weight you're at right now, you were supposed to be eating 2,000 calories a day or 1,800 calories a day, but the weight that you want to be, maybe you should be eating 2,300 calories a day. You just start eating those calories until you reach that target weight, and then you're going to want to maintain that weight. So we talked about the shake, which can help you get to your target weight and help you maintain your target weight, also get the calories that you need. We talked about once you get to that weight, if your GFR is improving, if you feel comfortable, you can add more protein. So in the past videos, we have covered how I beat kidney disease, everything I did step by step. We covered what I eat, and then we covered the shakes in this one. There's not really a whole lot more to it than what I've explained to you already. If any of you have questions, you can ask in the Facebook group or in the comments below, and I'll make another video. But yeah, watch the videos over and over. Remember, join the Facebook group. You can go onto Facebook and type in Mr. Crafty Man and you'll see it. Go ahead and join it. There's a whole bunch of us in there, and you can ask all the questions you want in there. I'm there to help you out. I answer questions pretty quickly in there. Other than that, thanks for watching. This is exactly what I did. I want to know if it's working for you guys too, or if it just worked for me. Thanks a lot.